what this workshop is about anyway. Because when you think about it, if you've read stories of people who have aspired to greatness as a trader, you'll always find, with almost all of them, that there's this underlying thread, this underlying theme that virtually all of them have lost one or more of what they considered a fortune before they started becoming consistently successful. Why do you think that underlying thread or theme exists in their lives? What's that? Why do you think that commonality exists? Because at some point they lose so often and then come back from losing that, one, they gain the confidence that they can do it, and as a result the fear dissipates, and as soon as the fear is gone, they're trading from a carefree state of mind, and when you trade from that carefree state of mind, everything about your trading changes. Remember that the primary skill that we're talking about here is simply trading without fear. This is a trading skill. It is the primary skill that you will have to acquire to create consistency, to trade without fear. What does consistency look like? I've already went through on the grease board here and showed you a consistently rising equity curve with the drawdowns, the normal drawdowns being a reflection of what? Can anybody remember what I said about that? What was that? Normal losses that reflect any trading methodology, right? Okay, what skills are necessary to experience a winning trade? Now, think about it. Now, I'm going to contrast, okay? I'm going to do a little bit of contrasting here. Just to show you one of the reasons why it can be so difficult to get even into a frame of mind where we start asking the appropriate questions about what do I need to really be consistently successful? Because what does it really take to experience a winning trade? What skills do you need? Anybody got any idea? What skills do you need to experience a winning trade? What? What's your name, sir? Maurice says a click of the mouse. Who's with Maurice on that? Come on, who's with Maurice on a click of the mouse? Got 1, 2, anybody else? 3, 4. He's absolutely right. That's all it takes. There are no other skills needed. No other skills needed other than the actual physical ability to put your finger on the mouse button and click in the buy or the sell, and you can find yourself in a winning trade. You can find yourself in a spectacularly winning trade, far beyond what you could have ever imagined. And what skill did it take? What did it take? Just doing it. That's all. Just doing it at that moment. Do you need an edge? Do you even have to know what an edge is? Is it possible to just to walk up to your computer and the arrow happened to be on the buy button, you click and then find yourself in a winning trade? You didn't have an edge, did you? You just clicked it. What did it take? It took nothing. Do you need a plan? Need no plan. Do you need the discipline to execute the plan? No, you don't need that either, do you? Now, see, you're going to see the opposite of all this, of course, is what we're going to be talking about in terms of creating consistency. But go ahead.
What you're saying is a blind squirrel will eventually find a nut. Sorry. What you're saying is a blind squirrel will eventually find.
Did you say a squirrel? I'm sorry,
yeah.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Okay, squirrel. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I can click a mouse. The arrow hits the buy. I click. I get a great trade. That's good. It's all the things that lead up to me. That's the implementation. But what about all the things that lead up to that implementation?
Oh, I understand. I'm not negating that at all. I'm just saying that the reality is you don't need anything. That's all I'm saying, because I'm contrasting here. I'm just making a contrast between what you need to be consistent and what you need to win.
Oh, okay.
That's all I'm doing, okay?
You just summed that up with what I was about to say. There's all the difference in the world between having the skills necessary to experience a winning trade as compared to having the skills necessary to consistently experience a winning trade.
Absolutely. That's all I'm talking about here. Because see, because what this does is the not understanding this contrast creates what I call like a huge psychological gap. Because because it's very easy for us to think that trading is easy. And if you believe that trading is easy, even if all your experience is starting to tell you that it's not, it doesn't mean that that experience is dropping down to a level of realization where you change your behavior or change the way that you think about trading. If your first impression, if your first experience was that this couldn't be simpler. And then you spend, how many X number of years or half a lifetime finally coming to the realization that, you know what? Yeah, to win, like, what do you need? Like, I could be in a casino and plunk $100 bill down at a blackjack table and end up with a blackjack. What did I need? Nothing. I just happened to win. Now, if I want to be a professional blackjack player and make a consistent income from playing blackjack, well, that's a whole nother matter, isn't it? And we're talking about the same things here with trading. There would be a number of skills that I'd have to acquire to be able to make a consistent, reliable income as a blackjack player. And there are people who do it. Do you need a good reason to put the trade on to win? Do you need a good reason? No, not at all. What characteristics distinguish the pro from the typical trader? Well, they plan their trades. No. They execute their plan without error. We'll talk about trading errors in a minute. Big difference. Okay, they can move in and out of their trades with an ease and effortlessness that would boggle the mind of the typical trader. Okay, what do you need to achieve consistent results? Well, you're going to need an edge. You're going to be able to identify an edge. You're going to have a trading methodology, are you not? Right? Okay? And you have to have a plan on how to utilize that edge. In other words, you're going to have to determine risk parameters. How much does it cost me to find out if this particular edge that my methodology provides me, how much is it going to cost me to find out that this edge is working on this particular trade or not? That's your risk parameter. Are you guys with me on this? Okay? Money management parameters. In other words, how much in other words, contract size or number of shares that you trade. All this has to be taken into consideration. You could have a standard amount, or you could have an amount that fluctuates based on other criteria that you use, to determine, the level of trade that it is. Like it could be like a 5-star trade or a 1-star trade. With a 5-star trade, you go in with a maximum position. With a 1-star trade, you go in with a minimum position.